Good evening, Arsenal fans. Neomis here. I thought Arsenal just played Leicester about an hour ago here. I just finished watching the game here in Vancouver, and I gotta say, very, very impressed with the performance and, of course, with the result that Arsenal managed to get in the Leicester game. I gotta say, before I even get into anything, the man of the match, and I don't know who everybody else's man of the match is, but for me, it has to be Martin Odegaard. Now, I know he created lots of chances, which for me is like the part that I'm like, brilliant, brilliant. And I know we didn't convert all of them, but I thought his performance today was spectacular. The amount of chances he was creating, you would just have to say that if there was a little bit more better quality up front to kind of get on those, to be able to control those balls better, this game could have been out of sight. I mean, there was at one point in the game, they put up a stat on the amount of shots Arsenal had, and Arsenal had like 18 shots, and Leicester only had five. And a large part of that kind of creativity has to do with Martin Odegaard and what he was able to bring. So, big props out to Martin Odegaard and what he did in today's game. For me, he was my man of the match. But even with that said, overall a very impressive performance. For me, I would have said this one would have been a draw for Arsenal. It would have been a definite must not lose game. And they didn't lose it. And to go about and score a goal in the way how they did, very good by Thomas Partey. Congrats to him. That's his second Arsenal goal. In his whole Arsenal career, which I actually was a bit surprised by. I was pretty sure he was somewhere closer to about five, but hopefully he could start to do more to be able to kind of get that up again. I think Thomas Partey is a very good quality player, and definitely deserves to score more goals. For Arsenal, so good for him with that. And then the second goal coming from a Lacazette penalty overall. The way our Arsenal started the game, I loved. Like started it on the front foot, the pressing, the creativity. In the first half, I thought Arsenal first 30 minutes, Arsenal were brilliant. I think they tailed off a bit, and then Leicester tried to come back into the game. But for the most part, there was never at any point that if you're watching the game, you thought Arsenal are in trouble or Leicester look like they're going to score. That really didn't happen. And Leicester had some moments in the game where I thought, okay, they look like they could score a goal, but they were lacking a lot of finishing, just real quality. I think maybe what it comes down to is maybe they've got one eye on the kind of Europa Conference League that they're in. And I think they're facing Rennes this coming week on Thursday. So maybe they've got one eye on that. Jamie Vardy didn't play. Iheanacho started with Patson Daka coming on later on in the game. But it was just a real good, solid performance from Arsenal, and to be able to put away a side that I originally thought Arsenal were going to have problems with, and I guess for me, I really thought that the likes of Tillemans would have started, but we didn't really see any of that. I think it was a decent Leicester side, but for me, Arsenal just looked better than them in all areas. They looked sharper, they looked quicker, in all facets of the game, and you gotta say you love. Um, One thing that I gotta say is that great save from the goalkeeper Ramsdale. I thought he had a really good performance today. The defense overall I thought was pretty solid. Overall, the midfield, Xhaka in this kind of new role, kind of bombarding role where he comes, takes the ball from midfield and drives forward. Um, I like this kind of. Oh, it's almost like a 4-3-3. I think kind of not that it suits him, but I think it shows that the route that Arsenal are going to be going a route forward, and I think having him go forward kind of distracts away from his potential defensive mistakes. But he's looking pretty decent overall. I've got to say, looking pretty good in that role. I definitely think that we need more of a natural person in that role who has a little bit more of an all-round game. I think if we can get that type of player in that midfield, would be better. But I thought Xhaka's performance, it was was good, even though I'm not a big fan of Granit Xhaka in the game. Um, Out wide, Martinelli, brilliant performance from him. Could have scored a goal today, but it was a good save by Kasper Schmeichel. Saka overall giving a really, really good performance there on the right, looking to create chances. Again, he also was trying to score goals, but the Leicester defenders did everything that they possibly could to kind of stop him from being able to do that. But again, good performance from him. Lacazette, another one. Again, another good performance from him as well. Good that he got the goal, even though it wasn't an open play. Did manage to kind of get the penalty there, and I'm liking the fact that he has been able to get that goal. Like before the game, they said that he'd never gone, I think, 10 games without scoring a goal, and this was his 10th game. So you had to know that it was set up for Lacazette to go up and score the goal in this game. So overall, really good performance from the boys. I mean, I have nothing bad to say about anybody else in this game, at least on the Arsenal side. Overall, I think Smith Rowe came on. I mean, I know he's had COVID and has been ill for a while, so it's good to see him get a bit of a run out on the pitch. Pepe came on for a little while, but didn't really have much to kind of do to really contribute. And then Eddie Nketiah came on in the 87th minute for the last few minutes of the game. But again, he didn't really have much time to really impact the game. So I guess probably the question that everybody's thinking: will Arsenal get top four? Well, I gotta say that if they're churning out performances like this, and as I said in my last video, that the games coming between today, the 12th of March, and the 30th of April will kind of decide Arsenal's fate, because I think that the games, including this game, are between now and then are gonna be tough games. They're all for me cup final games that Arsenal particularly struggle with teams that are on a similar level to them that will be playing, and teams that are traditionally finished higher than Arsenal, like a Liverpool, like a Chelsea, and a Man United, who are all these are the games that are kind of coming up within between March and April. So I've got to say that the way how Arsenal are going right now, if they can beat the likes of Leicester, then when it comes to the likes of Aston Villa, Everton, if we can get 3 points out of those types of games, which I put those games down as a draw at the beginning of the season, and then consistently go and beat teams like a Brighton, like a Crystal Palace, who, in the first half of the season we dropped points. If we can get 3 points from those games, even if we go up and then draw against the likes of Spurs and draw against the likes of West Ham and take L's against Chelsea, Liverpool, and a Man United, we'll get top four. And that's even if Man United do what they're supposed to do and like win the remaining rest of their games that they have. Like I predicted that they'll probably get about 21 points in their last games, almost at max. So if Arsenal could go back and those games that I called out, the likes of Aston Villa, the likes of the Evertons of this world, and pick up wins where I predict in draws, there's no reason why Arsenal can't get top four. And I gotta say that I think it's absolutely brilliant that he's been able to do that. And if Mikel Arteta is able to do that, you gotta give him a pat on the back for that one. Like I know, the teams around us like traditionally should finish in better positions, but you could only beat what's in front of you. So gotta give him plaudits for that if he manages to get Arsenal into the top four. And think about it, what it would mean if Arsenal finishes in the top four, right? I look back at when Leicester won the Premier League. They won the Premier League. They went into Champions League the season afterwards. The players then that Leicester were then able to attract and what it was able to do for their club over the next 5 years leading up to, let's say, at the end of last season, to consistently be able to challenge for the top four, even though they haven't really been able to do so, for them getting so close, been able to attract quality talent that they would have never been able to attract, which historically would have been the type of talent that Arsenal would have been able to attract. The likes um, of the likes of Sionchu, Tillemans, player that I'm a big fan of. These would have been guys that traditionally I would have seen as Arsene Wenger type of signings, players that were good young players that Arsenal would have turned into superstars under the lights of Arsene Wenger, and I just feel as though if Arsenal were to do that, this would kind of take them to the next level, depending on what they do in the transfer window. So I got to make that first off. So let's focus on getting top four. We don't have European football, which I think is probably one of the main reasons why we have, because we've maintained a fresh squad. I think Arteta prefers a small squad. And I got to say that it's been all beneficial towards Arsenal. West Ham just aren't focused on, not say not focused on the Premier League, but they're battling both fronts, playing in Europe and trying to play in the Premier League, and they're going to have to make tough decisions themselves. So this is a really, really, really good opportunity for Arsenal to do what they need to do and to get in that Champions League position. It would be amazing. Definitely overachieved this season if they manage to do that. And the trickle down effect that it would mean for Arsenal to finish in the top four would just be brilliant overall. But where does everyone think that Arsenal will finish? I think most people believe that we're going to finish in the top four, at least from all the other videos that I've seen. I've been watching a lot of Apollo's videos from 101 Arsenal, the likes of Charles Watts as well. A lot of people commenting on his videos, and most people believe that Arsenal will get into the top four. I would say at least 60 to 70%. And I think I'm leaning towards that as well, unless an utter catastrophe happens, which I don't think that will happen. I think that at the very least, um, we'll pull out draws maybe where people might want us to get wins. But if we do what we're supposed to do, Arsenal will most likely get top four. But leave your comments below what your thoughts are on the game. I thought it was brilliant. I'm sure everybody's happy about the decision, and I mean, if you're not happy, why aren't you happy? Like it's Arsenal progressing up the league. That's what we want. And who knows? Maybe we could even get an outside shot to kind of getting into third place with everything that's going on with Chelsea. I don't think that'll happen, but who knows? So leave your comments below. Thank you everyone for watching the video. Yeah, and I'm gonna continue trying to put out as much content as I can and try to watch the games. It's been pretty tough there with the time zone differences, with everything that's going on, and just with other duties besides football related. So yeah, I'll keep trying my best, and yeah, I hope to hear from you guys real soon. Peace.